all you wanted to know about Dick from Nina Infinity. Nina Infinity gave you your full Dick education. We're talking about Andy. Get your minds out of the gutter, people.
There's so much going on, and one of the things that's going on right now is like I heard today was the arrest of Andy Dick. And
Yes.
that was freaking crazy for me, Andrew, because I recently did a video on Andy Dick and the history of Andy Dick.
Let's be clear. Andrew, not Andy, right? So we say Andy, we're not talking about me, we're talking about the other guy.
That's right. We're talking about Andy Dick, the actor.
Yes.
Not Andrew from Legal Mindset, the lawyer.
Yes.
But yeah, so like this morning, I found out on Twitter that he was being arrested live, and that he did get arrested live. Here is actually the live stream that somebody's posted this, like clipped this from the live stream, and this is Andy Dick getting arrested. Apparently, he was arrested for felony sexual battery. This is really strange stuff though, because if you've watched my video, or if you haven't, you should, because I kind of cover the Andy Dick's history of like criminal history. His criminal history, I cover that, and basically how he ended up to where he ended up right now. Because when I covered it in my video, he had just left Wappy Flanker's house, because he was living in his
the IRL
house.
streamer who he was living on like a cot on, or like a
you need APEP within 72 hours.
Yes,
the police should have told you this.
So he was living in this guy's house, and then an incident occurred, and there was drama. Police were called. There was Wappy apparently whipped out a gun because people had called the cops on him, saying that Wappy was keeping him prisoner because he was abusing him. And there is a video. There's a live stream video of Wappy punching Andy in the stomach. It's very awful, like how he treated Andy. I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time, Andy is clearly like off the wagon again, and he's got a very, very crazy history.
Yeah.
And now, this is going on. And meanwhile, like while this is happening, I checked Twitter because you're gonna want to check different details out, and his ex Alyssa had tweeted out that she says, I had a 24-minute FaceTime with Andy Dick and his boyfriend JJ. JJ is the guy that is accusing him of sexual assault this morning, and they were joking around, being very cuddly. JJ was in good spirits, so I guess this is before drama happened. And then if you scroll down, this is the arrest.
And by the way, it's boyfriend because Andy Dick is bi, right? So
yes.
He's playing for both teams. So
yes, he is. He's playing for both teams. And in this one, she says, I spoke with the accuser this morning, named JJ, and they were looking up on the phone with me, having the time of their lives. And Andy was calling JJ his boyfriend. So I'm not really sure exactly the details of what's going on in terms of like whether the assault occurred, whether it didn't. TMZ has now covered it now, though. So they're saying arrested on live stream for felony sexual battery. There's a picture of him, and that basically that the cops have collected his pants, the JJ's pants, for evidence. Because
sorry, that just sounds weird, right? It's like the evidence bag. It's like, put the pants in the bag, sir. Take them off and put them in the bag.
I know, it's so crazy. And I was watching it when that happened, and I was like, did that guy just ask for his pants? And he was like, it says the arrest was streamed on Captain Content's RV live stream Wednesday. You see several Orange County Sheriff's deputies speaking with Dick before walking him to their vehicles, continuing the conversation, and eventually cutting him off and taking him away. Dick and group of live streamers have been living in the site in RVs for some time now. Sheriff deputies were seen entering Dick's trailer and searching it after he was placed into custody. They also asked to collect the male victim's pants as evidence.
So semen sample, got it. Yeah, it's just,
right.
There's something going on there. It's an interesting evidence bag.
This is so crazy because Look, I'm an empathetic person. I'm usually I'm very sympathetic, empathetic towards people, and this is why I made the video to begin with, was because
Mm.
at first I was like, you know, what the heck is going on with Andy Dick? I remember this guy being really funny, and I remember him, you know,
Mhm.
making me laugh, and then I remember him having some problems with, you know, addiction and stuff, and then
Yeah.
it just went. I went into that rabbit hole, and now I feel like I have very little sympathy because he's just stuck. And I think Andy's worst enemy is Andy. And I think he really needs
Yes.
to be placed in an institution where he
Yes.
can get the help that he needs. Because right now, I mean, I don't know what else can be done. Andrew, what do you think of all this?
I think that Andy Dick, if you look at his criminal history, and I think Joe Rogan actually mentioned this is a Joe Rogan quote on Andy Dick. And he would say, like, everyone was normal there except for Andy Dick. Like,
Mhm.
Andy Dick was the outlier. And he's like, there's two Andy Dicks. There's
Yep.
regular Andy Dick, who's kind of a funny guy and he's tolerable. And then there's like intoxicated. He said drunk Andy Dick.
Drunk
Those were Joe
Andy.
Rogan's words. And drunk Andy was the different guy. He'd be screaming, banging on your car window. And you all know, I think everybody can identify, you know, people like that, where they've got the two sides of Jekyll and Hyde,
Yes.
right? And his Hyde was real bad. And he knew it, but he never really took steps to mitigate that, to stop that, to lock that down. It's something he would go on TV and talk about and acknowledge was a problem, but then he'd do it over and over again to the point where he's being removed from live TV shows, right? He's
Right.
harassing people, you know, I mean, literally getting to the point where he's, you know, biting people and stuff like that live. The licking thing was weird when he did that on the roast of William Shatner. It was weird, but it was also comedy, right? That's kind of Andy Dick's thing. So it's kind of a shtick.
He says he licks people for like comedy for just generally.
It's on the line.
Yeah.
But like when you bite somebody, it's like, all right. Or you sexually harass, like you grab, you know, if some guy comes up and just grabs your tits. Now it's different if you're like, all right, we're gonna do a shtick. Are you comfortable with this?
Sure.
You know, my shtick is gonna be
there's
on a motorboat.
There's a
you know?
warning. There's a warning.
Like Pamela Anderson, you know, she was warned about what they're gonna do in Borat. Like there was not like 100% you know, authentic. But it's if you give somebody a heads up, right? Okay, that's different. That's a different type of shtick. But no heads up, no nothing. You're just boring into grabbing somebody you probably don't even know that well. That's problematic.
Well, he also did it like a few years ago. He did it to a minor as well, like he basically kind of like, you know, flashed her and like lifted her top, and she was like 17 years old. So this is not new.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Andy Dick, I don't know. I mean, do you think he's going to like be arrested for good now? Like, do you think? I don't know.
I mean, Andy is too many strikes. He's too many. He's gone too far to the point is, and he's been let off light because this is the thing. This is not his first allegation of sexual assault. This is not his first rodeo.
No.
He's been given many slaps on the wrist. He's been given many in situations where a normal me or you, Nina, if this was either one of us,
we'd be in jail.
Even you as a woman, like
Yes.
if you, and I'm saying like, we'd be sentenced differently. I would be sentenced the harshest because I'm a white male. So I'd be thrown in jail immediately and lock away, throw away the keys. You would get one pass, but the second time you'd be thrown in jail. Yep. Andy Dick has had this happen dozens of times.
Yeah.
And he's been let go. At this point, it's getting too much.
I mean, like recently, like I think it was in November. I think it was July and then November, where he threw a chair at his boyfriend. I think it was a chair. Don't quote me on that. And he got arrested. And he was charged with assault. And then there was another one where he assaulted somebody else. And I think he was bailed out for $50,000 for the most recent one. So this is why when it's just recurring like over and over, I mean, how many more times do you think this guy's going to be let go and just, you know, just a slap on the wrist?
It's going to be a risk on the police. It's going to be a risk on the justices. It's going to look bad on them because they're knowingly letting this person go when he's a threat to society, to communities, and he's consistently performed this sort of behavior. He needs to feel some repercussions for what is grievous behavior. I mean, dealing with minors, sexual assault. These aren't minor things, right?
No.
And these aren't Me Too. This is nothing about political. This is not Me Too at all, right? This is coming from men and women that are saying this guy is out of control. He's inappropriate.
I mean,
And
the only question right now is that because this is still, I guess, alleged, and like it depends on, I think, JJ's credibility, because like what Alyssa had posted earlier today, like this morning, and
right.
how they were fine, and then all of a sudden they're not, and the guy's like calling the cops and claiming he's being sexually assaulted. I don't know JJ's backstory, I don't know, but I know Andy's. So I'm like, I mean, is this one of those situations where he is being falsely Me Too'd? I don't know. And this is getting like really strange with the Me Too movement and everything that's coming up about, not Andy Dick, with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and how the whole Me Too thing is kind of in question. It gets a little tricky. So I guess we're gonna have to wait until more details emerge. I don't know, but for now,
but I
where
mean,
we're at.
we can presume that if it isn't this thing that gets Andy Dick in trouble, there will be another thing, right?
Yes.
This is not going to be something. He goes on, he gets out of this one. There's some factor that falls off. Andy Dick is a person that he's stuck in a cycle, and he needs something to break that. He needs a hard break from that cycle.
Yes.
And sometimes that's got to be some sort of intervention. That's a forcible intervention, whether it's putting him in a mental health institution, whatever it's getting, whether it's jail time, whatever. Take him out of that environment.
Take him out of society where he can, harm others and himself. But that's it. That's what we got on Andy Dick. And
Dick,
that's on.
All you wanted to know. All you wanted to know about Dick from Nina Infinity. Nina Infinity gave you your full Dick education. We're talking about Andy, which reminds out of the gutter people.